Hello and welcome to Political Science 115, American National Government, sections 1478 and 2705. My name is Jonathan Parker. I will be your instructor for the next 16 weeks. I have two sections of the same class. You might see me filming things on 1478's page, 2705's page. I treat the classes as exactly the same. One isn't getting anything different than the other and vice versa. So you can rest assured you're not going to be missing anything. Nothing's being done differently. If you're on one class page, you might as well be on the other. So contact information, my email, jonathan.parker@icc.edu. Make sure you spell the name right, Jonathan. People have been misspelling my name now for a long time. Again, it's here, it's there, it's on e-services, it's on, I think, the Canvas class page a couple times. My name is spelled correctly everywhere. This is the first semester where I am not on campus, so I'm navigating in a little bit of uncharted waters here. We're going to just try office hours virtually for a little bit and see how that goes. So email me at Jonathan.Parker, and we'll set up a meeting via Zoom, Teams, Skype, whatever you want. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out. Remember, teachers cannot read minds. I won't know that you're having difficulty unless you tell me. Please reach out again if you need help, because I really don't know if you do. People are shy asking for it in an in-person class in a brick-and-mortar setting. I can see your faces, but you're behind a computer screen, as am I, so you need to be proactive in telling me, Mr. Parker, I do not understand. Modality description, course description, general information you can read through on your own as you can. The course level and institutional level outcomes. Here is the book. We will be using it quite a lot. It is free. Free, as in $0.00. And you can download a PDF copy. And I suggest you do. We'll be working out of it each week. Fairly easy to navigate. Not fairly easy, it is easy to navigate. It's very simple to navigate. There are table of contents, all sorts of things, links to learning. Now, on the course page, some people might freak out a little bit because the modules look a little long, but I link all the sections of the reading. All right, so just keep that in mind. I have a physical copy of this book. No chapter is longer than 13 or 14 pages. So that is the primary material that we're going to use for this semester. Feel free to print it, or each chapter. I know I'm the type of guy who needs a piece of paper in front of me to really feel like I'm, processing the information. Virtual handouts, we may get through all of these, we may get to none of them, we may get to some of them. It's just kind of depended on the semester and what's been going on in the world as to how far we've gotten with that list. Ideally, I would like to get to all 6 of these, but I don't think that's, realistically, that's probably not going to happen. Course policies. Email is the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. Please utilize the email address listed at the top of page 1 of the syllabus to get in contact. I will do my utmost to respond to all emails within 24 hours. Let me add a note here, not for sympathy, just for understanding as to where I am coming from as a human being who has a life and things outside of ICC, as I know do all of you. I am teaching these classes at Illinois Central. I'm teaching for the HALO program at Heartland Community College. I am the new operations manager at the Lincoln Heritage Museum, and I wait tables at Cracker Barrel. So if it's not, I'm really going to try, and again, I don't offer that tidbit of information as an excuse. I'm really going to try to get back to you within a day, but if I don't, please don't bite my head off. I'm not ever going to punish you for my lack of attention. So, if something, if it's my mistake, I'll fix it. I'll give you time. There's never going to be an instance where I know some teachers that do that. I've had some teachers that do that blame the student for their lack of attention. I don't do that. On the other hand, I do insist that you address me as Mr. Parker. Over the last few semesters, I've gotten emails starting with Jonathan, another, hey pal, another, I don't know what school was teaching students to address people by their email addresses, but dear Jonathan.Parker@icc.edu. There's my name spelled correctly again. Use of my first name is disrespectful. Do not refer to me by my first name. I don't have a doctorate. I don't particularly like being referred to as professor, although I've learned to tolerate it. Just Mr. Parker. All right. Assignment submissions. All assignments must be submitted via Canvas. No Google Docs submissions. What I would ideally like to have happen is this. You go to however you get to this on your computer, Word, and you go to save, and you do that, you save it, and then you go into the assignment submission, and just upload the Word file. I don't particularly have, I know the school provides you with a Microsoft Office suite. There is a way to download a copy of your assignment and just save that and be able to upload it separately, but I get a ton really of assignment submissions that I can't read because I don't have the access to edit. So make sure that your assignment can be read by me before you submit it. All right, and it's perhaps something I can do a video on later. No Google Docs either. Those just aren't going to be graded anymore. This is the one and only warning. Google Doc submissions, I'm not even going to look at them. Academic citation etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you are required to cite your source if you use a direct quote from a book, article, website, etc., or you paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, website, or you present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. Acknowledge other people's ideas that are not your own. If you do not acknowledge them, intentionally or not, you have plagiarized. Plagiarizing is bad in, well, education, which is what you're here to get. So make a bibliography, create inline citations. If you don't know how to do those things or aren't sure, this site, EasyBib, and there are 1,001 citation generators online that can do this for you. We use MLA9 format for bibliographies in this class. This is just one. I mean, I don't insist upon it. If you have a citation generator that works better for you, use that one by all means. Inline citations are also expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. Outside sources are everything other than the book. If you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. Wikipedia also is not an academic resource. It is absolutely not an academic resource. I do not care what any other teacher has said upon this in my classes. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Why is it not? Because anybody can get on there and edit anything at any time. Now, I always hear the argument, well, what about the links at the end? Aren't those good? Yes, they're good as starting points for further research. But the Wikipedia entry, no. It will negatively impact your grade if Wikipedia shows up in a bibliography that you make for me. How negatively do you really want to find out is my question to you. Moving on to academic misconduct and plagiarism. On page 24 of the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook, it says this. Based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. Now, plagiarism is an issue that I've dealt with every semester since I've taught here. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, you get a 0 for whatever assignment you've plagiarized, be it 1 point or 1,000 points, without the opportunity to redo it. And this includes major writing assignments. The second time I catch you plagiarizing, I'm failing you for the course. No exceptions to this will be made at all. Other types of plagiarism, and the other types, the above paragraph applies. Other types of plagiarism include copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of AI tools that were not expressly authorized by the instructor. And just to spell this out plainly, I'm not going to, under any circumstances whatsoever, okay the use of artificial intelligence. All that tells me is how well you can ask a computer a question. It doesn't show me how well you've learned material, how you process information. I get nothing out of it. And you get nothing out of it either because you haven't engaged your brain. Late submissions, as a rule, I don't accept late work. However, I realize that life happens. As I said earlier, this is one of 4 jobs. Boy, does things add up, and, time gets short and life gets in the way. I get it. If a circumstance arises, I put here illness, death in the family, other things too. Please make sure you talk to me and make sure that you have proof of what you said did happen. I feel like a jerk for writing that and having that included in, but somebody, a bunch of somebodies have lied to me about serious life events like their parents dying. That kind of serious. And I found out about it, and now you have to prove to me that what you said did happen. And I'm sorry about it, but I don't want to be taken advantage of. If you come to me with an excuse like I went to a Taylor Swift concert last night or I had other homework to do, you will not be turning in anything. So again, I'm including it again, so I must feel pretty strongly about it. Statement on the use of artificial intelligence. In this course, you must create your own original work, writing, rendering, etc., to be submitted for a grade. The use of artificial intelligence, including but not limited to language engines, text spinners, image creators, chatbots, etc., is prohibited at any stage of an assignment. Coursework that is found to be AI-generated, in whole or part, is subject to the following consequences: failure of assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with a first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. Just please don't do it. I'm saying that fully realizing that 3 or 4 of you are going to do it anyway. And make both our lives more difficult, but I'm just begging you here at the start, please just do the right thing. All right, you have the standard 10-point grading scale, methods of presentation. I throw in a lot of videos. We do a lot of PowerPoints. I mean, it's a pretty standard online class. I'm not, in this class in particular, big on discussion posts because, in my experience, they've gotten a little nasty, and that is just something I've stopped wanting to deal with. I mean, we'll throw in one or two, but I don't incorporate discussion as a big part of this course. Visual, other types of presentation styles might be incorporated later in the semester. So, what everybody really cares about here, your grade. The first semester experience, more on that in a bit. 10% of the grade, test 1, test 2, 10%. Each final exam, 20%. Chapter quizzes, I don't time you. So, do with that piece of information what you will. 15% of your grade, and the just everything else category, 35% of your grade, and everything else literally is everything that doesn't fit into these 5 things. Evaluation, you'll have at least 1 essay, maybe 3 unit exams, maybe. Well, I mean, if you count test 1, test 2 in the final, I'm not sure why I worded it that way. One of the other tests that is not the final may be an essay test. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be. You will have classwork and homework as assigned. These assignments will always involve some form of writing. That's true some semesters and not others, just depending on the class. So news resources. When I compiled this list semesters and semesters ago, these were all pretty center. I realized with the passage of time that some of them have swung to the left and others to the right, and some are more center than they were, et cetera, and that these just depend on also what your definition of left, right, and center are. Please keep in mind, when I compiled these links, I was trying to be fair and balanced. All right, these were not made with any sort of inherent bias. I was trying to put together a list that I thought was fairly representative of fair-ish, because what is truly fair in today's world? Fair-ish reporting. College services, I'll let you read through this on your own, or this video is going to run like an hour. But just know that, I mean, we have a whole lot of stuff available for you guys, and take advantage of it. Because when I was in undergrad, man, I would have killed for some of the resources that you've got available at your fingertips. Commitment to integrity. As a student in this course and at this college, you are expected to maintain high degrees of professionalism, commitment to active learning and participation in this class, and integrity in your behavior in and out of the classroom. This means you will conduct yourself as though you are serious about your education and learning to work with others in professional environments, both on-site and online. And folks, this is a lifelong process. Learning to do that, live a life with integrity. So please review the ICC Student Code of Conduct for information on your responsibilities. And that language is taken from the Office of Academic Affairs. Controversial issues and civility for reading and writing assignments, as well as discussion. You're going to be confronted with historical events, concepts, beliefs that you find controversial, disturbing, and potentially offensive. By describing and analyzing and understanding such things, or seeking to understand as best you can, it doesn't mean that you approve of them, or I approve of them, or anybody at all approves of them. If you disagree, you shouldn't jump to, well, person X is a bad person. You should maintain an attitude of civility and mutual respect. We all have a right to our opinions, as well as a mutual obligation to refrain from insults or hate speech, verbal or otherwise, that would impinge on others' rights to a safe, shared learning environment free of intimidation or harassment. This is why I've basically stopped in this class during discussions. Disagreements and debates are an essential part of higher education. The key is to challenge ideas intellectually rather than attacking people personally. And that's really the thing, the difference. Yeah, that's the big important point here. Attack the idea, not the individual. If you can succeed in just attacking the idea and not the person, the idea is bad. This is why the idea is wrong. Not person X is evil. You're never going to have a problem. Attendance policy. But people can't do that these days. It's person X is evil, and it's rarely ever the case that they are. But this is something that, the world is learning to do. Attendance policy. We're going to move on to attendance policy now. I'm sorry for the aside. Students are expected to attend class each week. Attendance is defined as completing homework assignments, taking quizzes and tests, as well as logging on to Canvas. Attendance is also kept for reporting purposes for when the college asks me to mark who the never attenders and non-attenders are. When it comes time for me to determine attendance, I look at your activity on Canvas. I determine what you've turned in. You cannot skip or stop logging onto Canvas and not turn in your work and expect to stay in and succeed in this course. I've had a lot of very dodgy behavior in my time as an online instructor. People have taken off on cruises over the summer. I mean, that's bachelorette party season, I found. And over the summer, our 8-week classes, and somebody disappears for 5 weeks, comes back, and suddenly it's my problem. They're not passing the class. You have to communicate with me, all right? I want to help you. Nobody gets into education to fail people or drop them from classes, but sometimes we have to, because quite frankly, in this case, never a non-attenders, it's the law. It's the law of the state of Illinois. So the college handbook states that 5% of classes missed during a semester constitute an excessive number of absences for a class and may merit being dropped. This is more applicable to in-person, but it's good to know still. 5% of classes constitute approximately 1 week of classes. And that will be the guideline I will use when determining non- and never attenders. I have had to drop students for excessive absences and would not like to have to repeat the practice. Log into class. So what constitutes academic activity? Again, language taken from the registrar's office. Again, I'm citing where I got my information from. Examples of academic activity: submitting an assignment, taking an exam, attending a study group, initiating contact with me to ask questions about the course. Examples of academic activity do not include logging into our Canvas page without doing anything, talking about the class with a friend, going to counseling, personal or academic. And a word on this, Canvas tells me. I can see how long you've been on Canvas and what you've done and what you haven't done. So if you're just parking it on Canvas for an hour just to rack up time and make it look like you're doing something, I know. And your online teachers everywhere know. Miscellaneous. I do not advise taking a test and then forgetting about the material. I have arranged this course so that one topic builds on another. You'll be hearing and dealing with everything we study throughout the semester, especially federalism. Federalism I harp on all throughout the semester, because without federalism, which sets up our system of government, none of this matters. Not federal, not state. It's the linchpin of the whole thing. So keep your notes, especially about federalism, and study. You may, I say may, you will see test questions from the first test on the final. It is not the responsibility of the instructor to chase you down to make sure you are keeping up with your work. We're not in high school. If you just want to rack up zeros on Canvas, I'm going to do absolutely nothing about it. If you have to take some time away during the course, this is what I was saying about bachelorette trips and coming back 5 weeks later, you must ask me or a classmate what, if anything, you might need to make up. If you choose not to do this, do not be surprised if you start seeing a lot of zeros on Canvas. If you find that you have any trouble keeping up with assignments or any other aspects of the course, make sure you let me know as early as you can. I want to help you. I did not get into education to fail students, to make students' lives harder, to do anything negative, or be anything other than, of course, for good and positive change. I want to know if you're struggling because I genuinely do want to help you. So building rapport and effective relationships are key to becoming an effective professional. Make sure that you're proactive in informing me or any of your other instructors when difficulties arise during the semester. Again, I can't speak for my colleagues, but I genuinely want to help you. I love what I do. I want to help. I don't want to drop you from my class and give you Fs. That is not what I want to do. You will need reliable internet access and an ICC email account in order to complete this course. All ICC students automatically have an ICC email account. You must use your ICC email address for this course. I've had plenty of semesters where students have asked for me to email them separately on their Yahoo, Gmail, or whatever it is. I will go to Canvas and make course announcements and have them sent to the list that is on Canvas, and that list is to everybody's ICC email address. I'm not going to make exceptions. It's just simple. Everybody has an ICC email account. Log into your ICC email account, which you should be doing anyway in your course of being an ICC student. Look at your ICC email. You'll see things from me throughout the semester. Click on them, read, and be informed. Just keep an open line of communication with me, and you'll be fine. You'll learn something from this class. You may even enjoy yourself. And that's really what it comes down to. Help me help you. I can't help you if I don't know you're not understanding something, if I don't know that something unfortunate happened and that's why you've been late with a couple of assignments, whatever. I want to help you, so let me know and communicate with me, all right? It's going to make both our lives easier. And I'll communicate with you guys too. Maybe I hope not. I hope if something happens with me, hey, I'm going to be out of communication for a couple days because this happened in my life. And I hope that you would all understand that as well. Projected course schedule. This is pretty rock solid at this point. If we veer off this, I'd be surprised, but I mean, those are famous last words, aren't they? So you'll see that I do this class bi-weekly. Students seem to like it. It seems to just make everybody's lives a little happier, a little easier, take some of the stress off. Because I know you're all taking a lot of classes, and you're still getting the information if I give it to you bi-weekly. So there will only be 8 modules, and you'll see exactly what we're doing, exactly when the tests are, when the assignments are due, everything. There shouldn't be a reason you don't know exactly what's going on. But let's take a look at let's finish the syllabus first. Time commitment. If it's taking you longer than 9 hours, shoot me an email and we'll figure out what's going on. It shouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to. 7 to 9 is about right. If it's taking you, I stand by what I said. If it's taking you longer than 9, let me know. The instructor reserves the right to add or subtract from any part of this syllabus as the semester progresses. He will make every attempt to notify students of changes through Canvas and or through email. And these are a list here of important days throughout the semester. So let's look a little bit at the Canvas page. This is where the syllabus will go when I am done talking to you about it. This is where everything that you're going to need to see is going to be posted in terms of course content is going to be posted. So just got a few things I got to put in here, and then this will be ready for you guys on Monday. All right, we're participating in the first semester experience, and I know that some of you have done it, and we'll work it all out. And some of you are in classes where 2 of your instructors or 3 are doing it, and we'll work all that out as time goes by. But, it's 6 weeks, so you're going to have it for 3 of the 8 modules that we do. Take it seriously. There's a lot of great information in there, quite honestly. I'm not just saying it. There's information in this that I wish I would have had when I had started my undergraduate career. So take this seriously. It's also 10% of your grade, so it's the difference between an A, which if you do this class right and submit the work and take it seriously, it shouldn't be that hard to get, and a B. And I think that's it. If you're still with me, congratulations. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, reach out via email, and I'll get back to you just as soon as possible. Have a great start to your semester. See ya.